Shalom, it's me, Baht Of Zion, and this is EP2 for 2 AM Confessionals, family. Alright, family, I just wanted to talk about the importance of transition. God, sometimes you have to be aware of when it is time for you to move out of one situation so you can go into the next. At times, family, we find comfortability in a current situation, not understanding that what Yahweh has for us next to come is a blessing. We get too attached and too wrapped up in things that we currently have, and we can't see what's to come. Have you ever viewed or watched someone in a transitioning stage in their life, in that transition stage to you that you're experiencing silica or noticing looks like anger, looks like frustration, looks like bitterness, looks like hatred, and things of that nature, right? So the person looking in from the outside is seeing all these different things being displayed. However, the person that's currently going through those things, they're not realizing at that moment that Yah is trying to move them into their purpose, because their mind is still stuck on familiarity, where they once had something and they don't want to let it go to get to something better. But once again, family, they don't know that the better is in letting go. The blessing is in letting go. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say this, family. Some of you may know I've been married before, right? When I was not in the truth. Okay? So I had a marriage of 4 years, family. A wicked marriage, family. Okay? I used to go to sleep, have dreams of this individual who I was married to. I put him on a pedestal as if he was my Elohim. It was this dream where it was me, my kids, and we were fighting zombies and stuff, and the world was destroyed, right? And then he came down, my ex-husband now in the dream, came down from the sky in all white, eyes rolled back to his head, and he landed in the middle of me and the kids fighting with the demons. Well, the zombies, silicon. Well, demons too, they still demons. And when he landed, his feet touched the ground. He had no shoes on, family. His feet touched the ground, right? So as soon as he did that, right, we all froze. The only thing that could move was me and the kids and my cat Inky. So he stretched out his hands and he snapped his fingers. And when he snapped his fingers, family, do you not know all the zombies died? All the zombies died. So when I woke up, mind you, I was still married at this time. When I woke up, I was looking around like, yo, why did I have that dream like that? And why is this happening in that way, right? So later on down the road, I started to become interested in reading my holy scriptures, right? So as I began to read, I started to notice things, right? But at this time, I was in the NT, okay, New Testament. I started to notice things, right? And I've also noticed that my marriage began to shift. Okay? So when me and my ex-husband had a conversation after the shift, after everything started going downhill more, he told me that I did not ask for his permission to search for a higher power. Family, do you not know how demonic that sounds? And I said this on other podcasts before. That sounds very demonic. So, my realization, I come to figure, is that I put my ex-husband in Yah's position as a man. And at that time, I didn't realize it. But by the things that I was doing in the home, the things that I was doing for him, the things that I was trying to keep afloat that was not going to work out, I was putting him in Yah's position, right? So as soon as we started to go through our separation, right, things started to reveal themselves and things, a woman started to pop up and all type of stuff, right? So when he told me he felt like he's lost his wife, that was the day we got our divorce, right? So the divorce came in effect, and now I'm over here at the camps and stuff with my Baht, right? So we learning. And then apparently at the camp wasn't even where I'm supposed to be either, because I was having issues at the camp. So I was like, no, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with that. I wanted to hold on to the faith that I thought was the correct thing, right? Did Yah rearrange my life, shook me upside down, right? Removed my ex-husband, right? Even though it was extremely destructive the way he did it, but removed him, right? And then he put Ananiah 720 in my face, right? So, with Yah doing that, Yah revealing himself to me as being the only Elohika, being the only power, and showing me that I had a man in his position, his rightful position, which I shouldn't have had there. That's why I'm going through all that mess and all this type of stuff, right? I, at that time, had a hard time of transitioning, right? I'm fighting back, ain't wanting to do it. But that's why I tell you, family, whenever you can sit down as somebody looking in at somebody else's life, or just looking, at the broad little surface that they show you, you can see that some people, they literally have a hard time with transition because it's unfamiliar to them. Change is scary for people, right? Change is scary for people. That's why half of Israel don't want to change now, because they don't know what change looks like. And they feel like, I change, but it's going to come with work. But how much work is it really going to come with when I decide to actually change 100%? And that should be the last thing that's on anybody's mind, is how the change is going to affect me, what work I got to put in. Because don't they teach you in the religions, they do teach you that faith without works is dead, right? That's what they teach you. But why is it that they don't want to do the work but have the faith? That's backwards. But yeah. So I just wanted to say, that transition, it has to happen to all of us. It happens at various parts of our lives, and it may not always be the same exact way that it happened for somebody else, but it has to happen. That's the only way you're going to grow. That is the only way you're going to grow. The more you see or feel yourself fighting and being argumentative and stuff with somebody because it's something you have to change about yourself, then that's the moment that you, as an individual, need to realize that, hey, Yah is trying to transition me to something better in my life. And the fact that I'm noticing that I'm getting upset whenever I think about this change, or I'm getting upset whenever somebody brings this change to me, then that is a choice that I have to make, where Yah allows us to make our own choices, right? That's a choice where I have to make, where I'm going to change, or two, I'm going to revert and continue to stay the same and not receive the blessing, but receive the curses. Okay? So yeah, I just want to leave that on my little 2 AM Confessionals with Baht Of Zion. That's all I want to do. Maybe that will encourage somebody, or maybe open up someone's eyes to see that, hey, whenever this certain topic comes up, I get very aggressive and upset, or I feel like I'm owed something. But no, you're not owed anything. Yah is owed for you to praise him, and for you to change your Babylonian ways to serve him in righteousness. Shalom, Barakah.